Cassidy first came to the Y working for me, I believe in January of 2014, so she's relatively new on my staff. She's so bubbly and upbeat, and the members really like her. It's really nice to see her, to see how she interacts with people, because she just seems to like everybody who comes in the door, whether they're 7 or 70. So she has a really bubbly and infectious personality.
I chose lifeguarding because last summer, the summer of 2013, I was going to work at a camp for a month over the summer, a young life camp actually, and my job was waterfront, so I needed a lifeguarding. I've been lifeguarding for about 1.5 years now.
The incident that I nominated Cassidy for was a woman who comes into the Y pretty frequently in the morning. She's severely diabetic, so coming in the morning is the best time for her because it works out with her blood sugar. She started to drop with her blood sugar as she was in the center of the pool. She started to panic a little bit. When Cassidy realized something was wrong, she immediately got in the water, rescued her, pulled her out, and started giving her some glucose tablets to help bring her blood sugar up until the EMS arrived.
She went into lane 5 and was like a little past halfway out, and I just remember she was had the water belt on and the water bells for the deep water aerobics. And I remember she just kind of like started slowing down a lot, and I was watching and I was like, oh gosh. And I was like, what's going on? And so at first I tried to call over to her, but she was like, I didn't know if she was ignoring me because she was like embarrassed or if she just couldn't. So I just kind of like stepped away and I was just watching her really closely. And then the one water bell that was in her hand just slipped out of her hand and she started like drowning and her head started going under. I was like, oh. So I blew my whistle and I jumped in. And I swam over to her, and I rolled her on her back, and then I swam her back to the wall and put her arms up on the wall. And one of the women that was in the pool, Mary, had come over, and she like held her there while I got her glucose tablets. They're raspberry. And I gave her 2 of those, and then got back in the water and was like holding her on the wall. And then she became more responsive, and then she actually was able to walk herself out of the pool till the ambulance came. And I think a quick response is important because people can drown and go under the water in a matter of seconds, and then if you don't see them at first go under, then they could be under the water even longer before you notice them underneath the surface.
I think a hero is someone who goes above and beyond for other people and are calm when things start to go wrong. Cassidy is a perfect example of that. She stayed calm. She knew her training would kick in when she needed it, and that's exactly what we want out of all of our lifeguards, is for them to be ready to go and not hesitate and make sure that our members and the people in our community are safe.
I think it's really cool. I think it's a big title that I wouldn't ever think to give myself, but I think it's really cool to hear that and think back to the situation and think, yeah, it was a hard situation, and I had to respond in a certain way. Because of that, I get to be called a hero.